Hey guys, I want to kind of venture into kind of a real thought-provoking territory, one that challenges boundaries of ethical and philosophical understandings. So, grab a drink of tea, get cozy, and take a listen to what I have to say. I think one of the most fascinating aspects of Hinduism is its profound ethical principles, like Dharma and Ahimsa. Ahimsa means nonviolence. Dharma is cosmic law that upholds the order of the universe, and Ahimsa, which is the principle of nonviolence and compassion towards all living beings. But here's where it kind of gets interesting. What if we extend these concepts beyond Earth, across the cosmos, to include, interactions with alien species, NHI, interdimensionals? Yeah, that's where we're going today. So imagine, maybe just for a moment, an alien species that considers humans as part of their food source. Yeah, it's a wild thought, but it's been put out there by multiple people over an expanse of time. I know, but stick with me just for a minute. The scenario really pushes us to question, could their actions actually be aligned with their own understanding of what they would call Dharma? Their natural laws and duties, especially if it's essential for their own survival. How does Ahimsa, or nonviolence, actually fit into this? So the principle teaches us to cause minimal harm, but it's primarily viewed through a human-centric lens, right? Through human consciousness. So the whole idea kind of challenges us to think about ethics in a universal context. I mean, if an alien species views humans somewhat like how we view plants or, animals as a necessary part of their survival diet, it forces kind of a reevaluation of our concepts of moral and ethical values. It's humbling and honestly, it's really unsettling reflection on the universality of values that we actually hold dear. So here's where Hindu philosophy shines, offering us a way to navigate these murky waters. I mean, it doesn't shy away from the complexity of life and existence. Instead, it invites us to seek a higher knowledge, to cultivate compassion, and to recognize the divine essence that connects all forms of life. So imagine engaging in a dialogue with these beings, grounded in mutual respect, seeking solutions that honor both Dharma and Ahimsa. What if this interaction with extraterrestrials or interdimensionals, NHI, isn't something new? What if it's been happening for a very long time? Woven into the fabric of history and folklore, but always sitting on the edge of our collective understanding. You've probably heard about cattle mutilations, and then there's those wild out there claims from people insisting that humans are a sort of food source for these visitors from beyond our world. It's stuff that sounds like it's straight out of a movie or science fiction, but that there was a time when humanity, knowingly or unknowingly, allowed these beings to take a few individuals, maybe here and there. It sounds horrifying, a violation of every ethical principle we hold dear, but let's push the boundary. It's just a thought experiment. Push it a little bit further. What if our modern era, with all our advancements in biotech, we've started producing lab-grown clones to serve as a food source for these beings? Maybe. It's a concept that, challenges every notion of morality, identity, and the value of conscious life itself. But here's a thought. What if their perception of us has been akin to how we view vegetables? Not in a dismissive sense, but in a fundamental misunderstanding of our nature and consciousness. What if, through our interactions, through attempts to communicate and demonstration of our culture, creativity, and spirituality, we're starting to show them that we are indeed much more than a vegetable? This scenario isn't just about confronting a potentially unsettling truth. It's about the evolution of understanding across the cosmos. It's about how we as humanity might play a role in teaching beings of, unfathomable differences about the complexities of life, consciousness, and even our spirit. So let's ground this back into our principles of Dharma and Ahimsa. If such interactions are actually happening, they open up a new dimension of these principles. They challenge us to apply these ideas not just on Earth, but in our cosmic dealing. How do we ensure that our actions, even in the face of beings who might not initially recognize our full value, reflect our commitment to nonviolence and righteousness? How do we negotiate our place in a cosmos in a way that honors the sanctity of all conscious life? So, as I ponder these questions, I'm reminded that the boundless potential for growth, understanding, and compassion is huge. It's a call to not only recognize the divine spark within ourselves, but our fellow humans, but to advocate for the recognition of the spark of life in all beings, from all corners of the universe. The explanation is extremely speculative, but it invites us to consider our responsibility as part of a potentially vast interstellar community. Approach the unknown with curiosity, empathy, and a firm grounding in our spiritual and ethical principles. So as we continue to reach out, let us do so with an intention, bringing light, understanding, and compassion to every corner of existence. It wasn't too long ago that the majority of us viewed plants simply as part of the scenery, or at best, a source of food and oxygen. But even recent scientific discoveries fundamentally shifted our understanding. We've learned that plants communicate. They form communities, they make decisions, and even exhibit a form of memory. Think about it. It's a revelation that it's expanding our view of consciousness and forcing us to rethink the boundaries of life and intelligence as we know it. Anyway, long-winded, but let's circle back to the idea of extraterrestrial beings and their interactions with humanity. Just as we're uncovering layers of complexity in plants, a life form we've lived alongside since the dawn of existence, we're also faced with the possibility that our understanding of beings from other dimensions and planets or universes are similarly limited by our current level of awareness and comprehension. So, imagine though, if our continued exploration and willingness to learn, we discover these beings whom we might have initially perceived as treating us merely as a food source. They may possess a depth of consciousness and ethical reasoning far beyond our initial assumption. What if our journey with them mirrors our evolving relationship with plants, moving from seeing them as other or resources to recognizing them as entities with their own intrinsic value and complex modes of existence? Anyway, as we continue to learn from plants and all these other things, it's astonishing complexity beneath the silent exterior. So in essence, the journey of discovery both on Earth and with the plant kingdom, and potentially beyond with extraterrestrial beings, kind of invites us to broaden our spiritual and ethical horizons. It encourages me to look beyond appearances and to question our assumptions, and to embrace really a more inclusive and compassionate understanding of the universe and our place within it. Anyway, my two thoughts. Thanks for listening, guys.